Okay, this is just going to be a quick little video showing off how I made the project and what kind of things went into it. So already I've got Unity open here with the first of two environments that I made. They were both divided up between a happiness environment and then a fear environment. So this one is the happiness environment. And as you can see in the assets, we have the two games here. Also two terrains, this one being the happy terrain, which if we go in, if we go in, I'm just going to go right over to the first person controller, which has the main character. As you can see, it is a pretty wide open area, you know, got the palm trees, sandy looking trail, the green grass and everything like that. I'll give a better, there will be a better view of it when I demo it later in the video. But for now I'm just going to show you the different things that I've added into it. So in the Max folder here we got the 3D images and assets that I've made. Some of these that aren't used, such as the smiley faces and things like that, but we got the script here. This is used in the fear level for a collectible, which is just a page. I just added that as that's just a JPEG. I added that onto the different collectibles. It was just a box and I made it flatter to be a square. And this is the different monsters. We got the main boss of the happiness level. The happiness level just has different goo looking monsters, which you can see here. And the fear environment has something a little scary. It has spiders and ghosts and flying skulls, which I thought were better fitted as enemies for that world. Obviously in here it's just the different materials that get added into Unity as you know, add different colors to the monsters. And for the monsters and also the collectibles, I had to make prefabs, and prefabs are just saved. It's just the assets that have the code attached to them and saved as what we call a prefab, so that I can just dot the different environments with them without having to, because if you have a clone then things get kind of messed up when you start playing the game. And for the spider, for the different enemies, actually, I as you can see with the spider and the wanderer here, they have boxes attached to them, and that is because when I just added in a walking animation to them, or not animation. When I added in the walking code for them, they appeared like this here, where they're on their side, and it was a little messed up, but I wasn't able to fix that in 3ds Max, so I attached them to a box, put the walking script on the box, made the box invisible so that when they walk around it looks like they're doing it themselves. Other things, let's see, we got the scripts, we'll leave that to last. We have the sounds, these are just the different sounds that get used. So ambient sounds, the heartbeat sound for the fear, main music that goes into the happiness level, you know, just different ones like when an enemy gets hit or when your player gets hit, the sword being swung. And then finally we go into the scripts, and this is where all the C# things are. So, you know, I have them all split up into what I needed, such as like the pickup for that would be on the collectibles, and there's also a spin animation that I put on, which is just controlled by a script. And then in other scripts, this is just to divide up the files so that this is these are mainly for the fear environment rather than being used in both. I don't think there's much else to show. I'm just going to go right into the happiness environment, just quickly wander around, show you the different things that are in it. So at the start here we get a little explanation of who you are, what you should do, and how to play. And yeah, it also mentions a happiness meter up here, and that gets increased every time you pick up a bit of chocolate, as you can see here. And it's very subtle. What I did when that increased is the light level would also increase. It's very slight. I should have probably changed it to something more obvious, but I thought it was okay. You can kind of tell. So this is just the environment here. I also, you will see later on, so you can see the different monsters are just wandering around. When you walk into them, you get hurt. The smaller ones do less damage than the bigger ones, as you can see. And then here is our first weapon. So it tells you how to use the sword. Just left click and that's it. And then you'll see one of the differences in the happiness level. We have a achievement system. It just plays a little sound and tells you, hey, you did it, well done. And there's not really much else to show. I'll just go to the end sequence. Okay, so here we are, we're at the boss area, I suppose you call it. And behind this little firewall kind of effect is all the townsfolk that we have to save. But first you gotta beat the boss. Not too challenging. And we get a little message say, hey, you beat him, go save people, blah blah blah. And then we just walk into the crowd and get, yeah, the end sequence then. And we just get a little message of how we did. Okay. So then I will now go into game 2, which is the fear environment. And there's not really much else to say about it, other than it's a bit darker and it's filled with fog. We're gonna just go into that and see how it's different, and the feel of it is a bit different as well. So obviously we can already see that up here the bar is already full, because that is our fear bar now rather than our happiness bar, and we'll be collecting pages to get that down. And what I did to incorporate that more so is make it so that the fog density will actually decrease as your fear goes down. So we get little spiders, and then up ahead will be a skull enemy that'll just kind of float around when it gets near you. We get our sword again, and it'll tell us how to use it. And as you can tell, we did not get a message saying well done, because that is just for the happiness level or environment. Just to let the player know that they're doing a good job. I also added in that particle effect for the page, just so it was easier for the player to see where it is in this fog. And we'll go straight over to where the boss is and get the little ending credit, so to speak. Okay, so here we are, we got the main boss here. It's a ghost. Not too challenging, I'm afraid. It is a bit of an issue with the sky. It should be the same color, as you can see, as the fog to make it appear like you can't even see the sky, but sometimes you get this little pop. There we go, so we saved everyone. And that's that. Nothing else really to show, so thank you for watching.